What the heck is going on? How is everybody today? Welcome. I'm going to start off by saying please make sure to subscribe, like, follow, comment. All right, let's get into it. So today we are going to be going over some tips and tricks for how to improve your leaderboard score. So this is Saturday at about 7 p.m. EST. I have yet to do anything for today. However, I will say I'm done on the battle challenges. So that's probably going to be about my max rank. The dimensional duels, it's probably about as good as I'm going to get. I'm not really a grinder. Dimensional duel, if you want to do well in it, you have to be willing to play it a lot. Obviously, the stronger you are, the easier it is to grind it. So dimensional duel is the one where my advice is going to be pretty minimal. But either way, let's get into it. So first, let's talk special operations. So there are 4 different special operations. Hydra Escape, which is the one where you rescue people. Sakar's Arena, which is where you fight off a bunch of monsters. That might be a different arena. And then there is the one where you defend the pod in the middle. I believe, actually it's only 3. I apologize, I think I said 4. I might be missing one, but either way, they're all going to be essentially the same. Hydra Escape is a little more difficult. Hydra is the one where you really want to try to find, there's going to be a yellow person that comes up on your screen. This yellow person is worth significant amount of points. If you can catch this, I think he's called Rocket, it's Rocket. If you catch Rocket, it's worth a significant amount of points. So that's one thing I'm going to touch on for special operations, especially Hydra Escape. That's super important. Now, for general good scores and special operations, it'll pop up 10 seconds before the crystals spawn. By crystals, I mean the blue health crystal, the yellow ultimate recharge crystal, and the red attack buff crystal. These 3 crystals are very, very essential to getting a good score in special operations. So when you see that timer come up, what I like to do is at around 5 seconds, I'm going to take off my targeting on whoever I'm targeted on. So if I'm on the boss, I'm generally going to be targeted on him. That's when the crystals are going to come up. So you want to take your targeting off about 5 seconds or so before those crystals spawn. What you want to do is you want to get yourself in a position where you can easily get to as much of the map as you can. So for Sakar, I like to try to kind of stay near the middle of the map. Maybe I'll hug the left or the right side. In Hydra, you're gonna be in one section against the boss. I like to actually stay as close to the boss as possible without dying. The crystals tend to spawn around him. So now, why these crystals are so important? So damage is huge for getting a high score. So when you get an attack buff or an ultimate recharge buff, this is going to be huge for allowing you to do more damage, which is going to allow you to get a higher score. Now, another thing that gets you a really high score, other than points, is being with a good team. So the faster you do it, the more points you are going to get. So you want to make sure you're going in, if you're someone who's a little bit weaker, maybe try finding some stronger friends to help you out, maybe even some friends that are the same strength, but all 4 of you go in and all 4 of you know what to do. Now, another way you can improve your scores is to have, when you're running it in a group of 4, is to have one person grab the crystals that I was speaking about, to grab the attack buff, to grab the ultimate recharge buff, so that they can do more damage, and you still have a good team to get it done in a fairly decent time. And with your team trying to allow you to get more damage in or more of the civilians captured, this will allow you to get a higher score. Now you can do that and help each other out so that all of you are able to get a higher score. The last point I want to touch on with special operations, sorry, I lost my train of thought a little bit. So you want to have a team, the blue crystal. Sorry, I haven't talked about the blue crystal. When you die, you lose 10,000 points of whatever points you have accumulated. So it's very important not to die, because those 10,000 points actually are really hard to get back, especially when you're going to be spending, I believe it's 7 to 10 seconds. I apologize, I'm not having every detail perfect. But you're going to also be dead for those 7 seconds. So not only are you losing that 10,000 points, now you're losing that time. And you're slowing down your team, which is going to make the clear time slower, which is going to bring down your score. So long story short, you want to make sure you get the crystals, get in with a good team. Simple as that. All right, let's get into the next leaderboard option. Battle challenges. I'm going to be honest. Battle challenges are going to be tough if you are underpowered. These have a time limit and the bosses do get very strong. My suggestion to anyone who is a little bit underpowered and struggling, you can go back and get your stars once you are stuck. What you want to try to do is don't start, so I got all these stars just because I'm a little bit overpowered for these. I'm sure you guys will be too, of course, for the first ones. But see how these stars are only worth 1,400 points? 1,400 points is going to end up being nothing. Not that it's not important, I do recommend getting them, but you don't want to focus on this. What you want to focus on is, let's say the highest you can get to right now is 22. Let's say you have 425 power and you've beaten 22. You're feeling good, 23 is too hard. Or maybe even, let's say you're stuck on a boss. So what you're going to want to do in order to improve your score beyond this, of course, try to grind the next stage a couple times. Don't just fail once and give up. That's not good. You want to try a few times, get used to the pattern, get used to your time limit, and see. I recommend if you're failing, if you're failing because you're dying, try to just run out the time limit. Because then you know you're for real stuck. If you run out the time limit and still can't beat it. If you fail because you're dying, maybe you can be a little bit more safer, you can dodge a little bit more, you don't have to put out as much DPS. Okay, so sorry, what I was talking about with the stars. So if you go here, see this star is worth 48,000 points. So that's a lot more than that 1,400. So you want to look at the ones that you feel are achievable and worth the most. Now again, this is when you're super stuck. Once you've beaten 30, you're generally going to be pretty high up on the leaderboards right now. That's pretty hard. So the stars aren't super important. But when we're talking maybe another month down the road, you can see these stars are worth 300,000. So if I go back in here and I decide, okay, dodge less than 6 times would probably be pretty easy. I can use my other kiting skills. I don't have to go in as often. Maybe I can get that dodge pretty easy. That's gonna put me up to 4 million points. Now to show you what that can do, obviously again this is later, but I want to show you guys what that could really do. So I just told me that could put me to 4 million points, right? So that could potentially move me into the top 20th spot. Now, and this is, we're talking high up. If you want to go into the lower guys, they start being not very far apart. These two are only 7,000 apart. So if we go back here and look at our battle challenges, we can see 7,000 points is very obtainable. We could even do a lower level star and get that. So the stars, you want to first clear everything. Clear as high as you can, do the best you can, push, push, push. Once you've cleared and you want to improve your score, you want to start with your highest level first and work your way down. So that's how you're going to improve and excel that battle challenge score. I highly, highly recommend doing as much of this as you can. There is some great rewards from this, some great squad XP, some great gold, and some pulls and things like that. So I definitely recommend trying to get into this battle challenge. Super important to do. All right, let's go to the next rankings. Omega War. Omega War. What can we say about Omega War? My only suggestion for this one, honestly, play it as much as you can. If you're on farming and you see an Omega War pop up, go do it. The best way to get a good score in Omega War is to fight the RNG. You are going to have games where you have someone on the other team that has 1 million power to 2 million power. Okay, not 2 million power, but you guys know what I'm saying. You're going to get those games where the other team just dominates you. And you're not really going to be able to do anything about it. But the more games you play, the more likely that person is to be on your team, the more likely you are to have an even matchup, and just the more likely you are to get better at it and to get good at it, and that's how you're going to increase your leaderboard score. My one other suggestion for this is the crystals are very important. Try not to steal them. I mean, if you're going to win the Omega War and you see a guy worth 1,200 points, you know, and he's coming for the crystal, don't be that guy. Don't steal the health pods from him. But these crystals can be worth a lot of points. So I highly recommend trying to go in and get these crystals in order to increase your score. Now, another way you can increase your score, if you feel semi-confident with your power and you feel, hey, if I had a guy and he was 1,000,000 power, but I see him at 20% health, I think I can take him. Maybe 500k power, 400k power you have. Getting a big guy is huge. If he is worth 1,000 points, 1,200 points, and you don't really maybe only get to 300 points, if you can kill that guy, you're going to skyrocket your overall point score. Especially if you can kill him and then just run and don't get hit. Again, this is all easier said than done. Omega War is very clustery, definitely a bit of a mess. I don't really have much advice for Omega War other than play. Honestly, just play. Dimensional Duel, it's going to be the same thing. Dimensional Duel, it is very tough because there's a lot of strong people that are playing this. However, there is some very, very good rewards from Dimensional Duel. You have to do your 5 a day anyway. Now, I'm strong. I put some money into my account. I'm about 750 power. I'm at 40 ranking Dimensional Duel on my server with only doing my 5 a day. Now, obviously for some people, this is going to be really hard. But if I'm only doing 5 a day and I can hit 40, I lose lots. I only have, I think, it's a good win rate, but I think I have a 56% win rate. And I'm 40th. But I only do my 5 a day. Now, the key to Dimensional Duel is just grind. If you do, I don't know, let's say 20 a day, okay? You are going to have way, way more chance of climbing points, especially since generally they don't take as much from you as they give. Now, when you get up into the higher ranks, it's plus 15 and minus 15. I understand that. But if you get lucky and you get 2 fights that are easier in a row, you get a consecutive win bonus. Now, this consecutive win bonus is going to allow you to slowly creep, even if you're at a 50% win rate. So again, Dimensional Duel, I don't have too much beyond getting a team, beyond grind. Not getting a team. I wish. Beyond grind it. Play it as much as you can. Don't worry about losing. It's life. I know lots of people that are at like a 50% win rate and crazy high because they just play all the time. So play Dimensional Duel if you want to rank up in it. Also, make sure you're looking at your skills. Don't just go in with the skills you farm with. Make sure you try to look for single target PvP type damage. You can also do this in your Omega cards, in your stats. You can look for PvP based damage or single target damage if you want to try to improve your chances in duel. Alright, Dark Zone is a beast because this requires a good alliance to get a high score. And what I mean by that is our alliance, we go in at double points, so at 1 p.m. EST and 9 p.m. EST should be the only times you're doing Dark Zone, in my opinion. Those are the times when it's double points. Those are the times when it's super worth it to get in. Now, what you want to do is you want to try to find an alliance that goes into DZ at these times together. I know that this is a struggle for a lot of alliances, and the main reason why I want to show this is Outcast and MMX in our server are 2 alliances that go in together. Like, we don't go in together, but I mean, they go in together with their alliance. They go in and they try to kill as many bosses as they can together to increase their score. So, this is going to involve a semi-decent alliance. If you do not have a semi-decent alliance, try to find a group of 4 of you that will go in at either 1 p.m. EST or 9 p.m. EST so you guys can maximize your opportunities for points. Now, past that, what we can talk about for individual points when you are in a good group. what you want to do is last hit. Last hits are very, very important. These are going to give you extra points. A last hit on a regular boss, a non-prime, is going to be 80 points, as opposed to 20 points that you get for just being a part of it. So you're getting triple the amount of points. So you get 20 for killing it with your team, you get 80 for the last hit. Now, that's nice and great. Where the last hits are really, really important is going to be on these prime bosses. Prime bosses are going to give you 300 points as a last hit. So normally they will give you 40. When you last hit, you will get 300. This is how you can skyrocket your points. How do you last hit? A lot of it is kind of RNG based. You want to put in your attack around the time he's going to die, and you really want to hope you're going to be the person to hit last. Now, as much as power is going to help you succeed in this, I want to show you Cheta, who I stream with as well, my partner. Cheta's character is 3,000 power. He has saved all his resources. He is currently waiting to put into his main. So he is at 3,000 power, and he is 10th on our leaderboard this week. So this is what I'm trying to say, that it has nothing to do with your power. What it has to do with is going in with a strong team, killing a lot of bosses. Again, if you go out with a whole alliance, it's much better because you can't attack alliance members. And really paying attention to that timing on that last hit. What you want to do is you want to gauge it. So the first time you test it, I like to do it at about, for us, we kill it very fast. So I do it at right when it's going to its last health bar. Because we're going to go through that health bar in the time it takes me to use my ultimate as Black Widow and snipe. If you're someone else, another character, you want to use your most damage skill. The one that's going to pop them. If you are lower in power, like how I just showed you Cheta is, you're going to want to use an ability that hits as many times as possible. So I think pretty much if you're anyone but Black Widow, you're going to want to use as many hits as possible. But all that being said, as you're going through DZ, you're going to want to practice your timing. You'll be able to see, okay, I was a little late. Okay, I was a little early. And you'll be able to kind of gauge when you can use your abilities or ability, depending on your character, that you want to use to last hit. So for me as Black Widow, I'm going to go invincible and snipe on my timing that I think is about right. And this is how I'm able to get the last hits. Now sometimes when we have less people or more people, I need to adjust my timing. It's going to be the same for you. If you're in a group of 4 and you're with the same group of 4 people all the time, the timing is probably going to stay relatively the same. If you're in an alliance and you're going in with different amounts of people all the time, different strengths of people all the time, you're going to have to adjust that every time. So Dark Zone, again, get with a good group, get with a good alliance. It should be pretty easy to get up in the top. There is the PvP aspect to Dark Zone. You do not get very many points for killing people at all. I don't personally recommend this as a strategy right now. I recommend trying to just go in and kill the bosses. Even if someone kills you, don't really spend time on it, in my opinion. Now that's just me. I think you want to just focus on getting the bosses, getting the points. You get really, really good rewards from this. And getting higher ratings in this is super important for getting good badges. Because you can buy the Omega or the Dark Zone badges if you go here, nope, tokens. So you can buy these badges. Now, with that being said, disclaimer, do not buy these badges till the patch comes out. Because when the patch comes out, I'm assuming we're going to get new badges in here. I don't think they're going to keep us buying the 100s when there's going to be a 110 or whatever it's going to be. So save your points right now. But these are super important. So I think that is everything for today. So again, most of this is honestly just being with a good team. That's really what a lot of this is. Finding a good team and finding ways to maximize your abilities in this. Now, I appreciate everyone. Again, please comment, like, subscribe. I hope this video helped out some of you. I hope to see you guys trying to push a little bit. And we will see everybody in the next one.